Good morning to you, Mark out of HurricaneTrack.com here. It is Friday the 23rd of September 2022, and I'm going to be doing one video today. This is it. I'm in Philadelphia currently, so first the bad news. I'm not going to be able to go to Canada. My attention is needed in Florida, and I'll show you why. I wish I could be in two places at once, but I can't. My first priority, of course, is for the United States and the impacts there. So I've canceled all of the plans to go to Nova Scotia. They've got a great mesonet up there of weather sensors and so forth in that area. And there are several other people going from the United States and elsewhere. And, some great chasers up in Canada that'll be heading over there. So you all are in good hands. I'm sorry I can't be there, but I hope you understand. I just can't do it. I cannot be in both places to prepare accordingly at the same time. It's just not possible. Please do hit me up on Twitter, though. At HurricaneTrack, if you're up in the area and you want to send me pictures or video or what's happening in your life as this rolls through with Fiona, I'll be glad to retweet that as well. All right, so let's take a look at what's happening out there. Very busy. There's Fiona back up to Category 4. TD9 here, forecast now to be a Category 3 at landfall in Florida. We got to deal with that. TD10, if this gets named first, it would be Hermine. And this would be Ian, so we'll have to see how that all plays out. This is Gaston up here near the Azores. All right, looking at the satellite animation this morning, there is Fiona, large, Category 4, once again, going to interact with this trough that's coming off, pull it right into Nova Scotia and the rest of Atlantic Canada. Doesn't matter what we call it, extratropical, post-tropical, hurricane, doesn't matter. The effects are going to be the same. Storm surge, wind, possibly to hurricane force, flooding rain potentially, especially on the northwest side as it interacts with all of this divergent flow up here and the air spreading out. Just a real mess for sure in that region. Then here is TD number 9, forecast to officially become a Category 3 hurricane somewhere down here in the southwest coast of Florida. And then we have TD10 out here, very unusual location. And again, if this one becomes a named storm today, it would be Hermine, and then this one would be Ian. We'll have to wait and see. A race to see which gets named first, I guess. All right, let me back this out a little bit and show you just how darn busy it is. In the Pacific here, just real quick, we do have a tropical storm, Newton. Here's our tropical depression, and there it is right there, forecast to officially be a Category 3 on around 8 a.m. on the 28th there, making landfall. That'll change, you know how that goes. And then Fiona headed up here towards Atlantic Canada. The 2 there could possibly still be a Category 2 transitioning hurricane from purely warm core focused, bundled energy, whatever, to a much more spread out system where the effects are going to impact a very large area. So pay attention to Environment Canada and the Canadian Hurricane Center info. You guys up there, you live near the ocean, you're pretty well versed in this, but take it seriously. It's going to be really rough starting later today through tonight and, of course, tomorrow. And then it moves on up almost to Greenland, for goodness sakes. Then we have Gaston out here impacting the Azores a little bit. And then there's more. There's going to be more coming off Africa in the coming weeks. The pattern is ripe for a very busy end to the hurricane season over the next few months here. All right, vorticity signature. It doesn't really matter too much because everything's cranking up, but this is what it looks like. There's TD9, very well organized now, a lot of energy down there, trying to focus up. There, of course, is Fiona, and we have Gaston over here as well. All right, a couple things to point out. The sea surface temperature anomalies. Look how warm it is now all through the tropics and then even the subtropics up here off Africa. A very telltale signal to a very busy hurricane season. Got started later than we were anticipating, that is for sure. A lot of people wrote it off, kind of scoffing at everybody that was forecasting such, but we're making up for that, and there are and have been impacts to this, okay? There are consequences to this. That La Nina out there, also still holding on strong. We are not done even as we get out of September. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm just telling you, we knew it was coming. We just didn't think it would be delayed like it was to make all of us that watch this stuff kind of jittery that we had a bad forecast. I don't do the forecasting, but I certainly relay that info. Nevertheless, let's focus on what's at hand. 30 degrees Celsius water temperatures in and around the Florida area here, as well as in the north part of the Caribbean. So our depression, eventually to be hurricane, definitely has a lot to work with in terms of energy. And you folks in Southwest Florida need to take this very seriously. That'll be our focus today, and tonight and tomorrow it'll be certainly Fiona for the Atlantic Canada region, but then it's going to quickly shift to our friends in Florida. But, you know, certainly Jamaica could have some impacts, as well as the Cayman Islands. Don't want to ignore that. One of our internet friends, never met the fella, but Adam down there in the Caymans, he will be relaying information to me, I'm sure, over the coming days. Nice dashboard here. I want to remind you of this from Dr. Cowan's site, Tropical Tidbits. You've got Fiona. If you want to see the close-up sat shot, different model guidance, etc., that's all right there. National Hurricane Center products showing the different impacts. A huge wind field on this, so be ready for that. But I just want to show you this very nice dashboard. If we look at TD9 as an example, there's the still frame sat shot, and then the location information, the surface plot. But then this is the model stuff that I have been talking about. I think I showed this yesterday. Instead of looking at the GFS frame after frame and waiting for the euro or whatever, it would just help you a little bit. You got a lot to do in Florida these next couple of days. Just go to this particular graphic and look for this right here, the consensus aids. That is really the best idea when you go, well, what do you think it's going to do? Just go look at the consensus. That is a blend of the models, like a consensus, right? It's complicated to explain how they come up with this, but that's really all you need beyond the official information, of course, of the National Hurricane Center. If you want to look at guidance beyond the 5-day, this is a great way to do so, and it puts it into context. You don't get singular, scary images of a big hurricane parked over somewhere. This is helpful information right here. It really is, and it's available over there at Tropical Tidbits off the current storms part of the main menu there, and you want to look for global plus hurricane models. All right, and there it is. Okay, the intensity guidance for TD9 has a high ceiling. It is forecast to be a 3 at landfall. We'll deal with that over the next few days. A lot of it will have to do, if we go back to our interactive map here, with land interaction with Cuba. Of course, it's going to come through, may impact Jamaica a little bit, but more so the Caymans. And then where this crosses Cuba, if it's more like this, there's more land interaction, less time over the Florida Straits. Obviously, if it's a wider cut through here, closer to Tampa, it has less land interaction in Cuba, more time over water, and that could be very problematic. We got a lot to deal with down here in Florida for sure. All right, that pretty much wraps it up. I want to try to exit this. I got to get out. The hotel is wanting me to leave. It's after 11. Again, I'm sorry I can't be in Canada. I wish I could. I hope you understand. And you guys got this, and I look forward to seeing your reports on social media. Whether or not you tag me, I'll be watching and seeing what's happening up there. We're on YouTube. That's a majority of where our traffic comes from these videos. So please like, subscribe, share, help us grow what we're doing. And we are supported through Patreon, a very important mechanism, not only for the funding, but for the community aspect of this. I'll be talking about this more, not so much to pitch it and make money. Of course, this is what I do for a living, but I have to, or we can't grow this. But at the same time, I'm giving you something here that is truly extraordinary. What we've done with this, a lot of our partners have helped to build it. It's not me. I don't know how to code, but just a little bit. That map I just showed you, that was created by one of our supporters and built even deeper by other supporters that we have. We crowdsource what we do, and we fund it through Patreon. We are on Discord. This is what our Discord channel looks like. Very active, all sorts of stuff in here, these different Discord server, different channels or rooms, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people starting to come in here. It's awesome to see, and we can post stuff on Discord exclusively for our patrons. Discord is not open to the public for us. It is part of our Patreon package. It's our way to stay in touch. This is what I'm talking about. We can post all kinds of information in here. It is awesome. If you know Discord, you know. What do they say? If you know, you know. And then, of course, you have access to the insider site We connect all of that up through Patreon, and from there you have access to the live camera dashboard, which is absolutely incredible over here, and that all-important interactive map where you can click on these different permanent cameras. And then down here in Florida, we will be setting up a tremendous network of our stuff all over the peninsula, wherever we need to. We have up to 20 live cams, 4 weather stations that are complete, wind and pressure. Every bit of that goes onto the HurricaneTrack Insider site. I wish I could make it free for everyone, but then I would be living in a van down by the river. Quite literally, I couldn't support my family. This is what I do for a living, and I think we would all agree here that this is a pretty neat thing, and it's crowd-funded and sourced by people just like you. You get access to all of this in return for your support, and you can do so. Get the Patreon app. Go to patreon.com/HurricaneTrack or search Patreon on the App Store. Look for HurricaneTrack, and you can become a part of this quite literally. And before I go, it's not just me. Tropical Tidbits is on there, the Weather Nerds site, and there are others in the weather field on Patreon. Crowdfunding is how we get stuff done these days for independent people like myself. So I appreciate it, but it allows me to steal a line from the great Jerry Maguire to help me to help you. That's how we do it, seriously. It lets me do my job and keep you informed and bring you the data when it really, really matters. All right? Let me get out of here before management busts the door down. They're not going to do that. The Hilton properties are always accommodating. I am Mark Sudduth. Sorry I can't come to Canada. I wish I could, but we'll be focusing after Fiona, big time on Florida, and maybe more. We'll see. Let me get out of here from Philly, get back to North Carolina, and get things rolling for Florida. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with you with another video update tomorrow morning.